TRON is one of the strangest success stories in crypto. It doesn't dominate headlines the way Bitcoin does, it doesn't inspire the same cult-like devotion as Ethereum, and it's rarely the hero of a mainstream documentary. But TRON keeps surviving. Cycle after cycle, it's still here, powering an enormous amount of on-chain activity, especially in the parts of the world where crypto isn't a hobby, it's infrastructure. And that's exactly why TRON creates a very specific kind of tax problem. Because TRON isn't just something people hold, it's something people use. They move value through it, they earn yield, they interact constantly, they bounce between wallets, exchanges, and stablecoins. And if you're not careful, that kind of activity can create a tax footprint that's way bigger than the actual profit you made. Meanwhile, wealthy TRON holders and large operators often seem oddly calm. They can move millions, they can exit positions, they can rebalance, and the taxes don't look as catastrophic as you'd expect. So what are they doing? First, we need to separate myth from reality. In the US, you generally can't sell TRON without paying taxes if you sell in a taxable account and realize a gain. The IRS treats crypto as property. That means selling TRON for dollars is taxable. Trading TRON for another token is taxable. Using TRON to buy something can be taxable. Converting TRON into stablecoins can be taxable. Every exit is potentially a taxable event. And with TRON, because it's used as a fast, cheap network for moving value, it's easy to create taxable events without realizing you did anything important. Wealthy investors don't start with, how do I sell without taxes? They start with a better question. How do I avoid triggering a taxable event in the first place? The first strategy is the simplest, and it's why it often looks like the rich aren't paying taxes. They don't sell, they borrow. If someone holds a large, appreciated TRON position, selling it triggers capital gains, but borrowing against assets doesn't trigger a sale. A loan is not income. If TRON is pledged as collateral and cash is borrowed against it, there's no realized gain because nothing was sold. That doesn't mean it's risk-free. TRON can move fast, collateral values can fall. Forced liquidation is the nightmare scenario because that can create a sale at the worst possible time. But conservative borrowing can be a way to access liquidity while keeping ownership intact. That's the first big difference between wealthy investors and everyone else. Most people sell for cash. The wealthy aim for liquidity without selling. The second strategy is timing. TRON holders often underestimate how much the holding period matters. If you sell TRON after holding for less than a year, gains are generally taxed at ordinary income rates. Hold longer than a year, and you're generally eligible for long-term capital gains rates. That shift can be enormous. Wealthy investors plan around holding periods with discipline. If they're sitting at month 10 and the position is huge, they don't let excitement override math. They know waiting can save a fortune. But TRON has a unique twist that makes it especially dangerous for taxes. TRON is often used as a Rails network. People treat TRON and TRON wallets like plumbing. Just something you use to move funds around, swap into stablecoins, bridge to other chains, send value across borders, or participate in certain on-chain systems.
Here's the trap. A lot of actions that feel like moving money are actually trades. If you convert TRX into another asset, that's a disposal. If your TRX increased in value since you acquired it, you may have a taxable gain, even if your end goal was simply to end up in a stablecoin. This is why wealthy investors obsess over structure and record keeping. They don't guess their cost basis, they track it. They keep exchange statements, they document wallet transfers, they use software to reconcile addresses. Because in a high-activity ecosystem, taxes aren't just about the big sale at the end. They're about the 1,000 little events along the way. And wealthy investors know that the IRS doesn't accept "I didn't know" as a calculation method. Then there's the strategy that feels counterintuitive in crypto: charity. If someone is already charitable and holds TRX that's appreciated, selling it first is often the worst approach. Sell TRX, trigger capital gains, then donate cash. Wealthy donors often donate appreciated assets directly, either to qualified charities that accept crypto or through donor-advised funds capable of receiving and liquidating digital assets. When done correctly, the donor may be able to deduct fair market value and avoid realizing the capital gain. Same generosity, completely different after-tax outcome. Another strategy is the one most people only learn about when they're already wealthy: the step-up. If TRX is held until death and passed to heirs, the cost basis is generally stepped up to fair market value at death. That means years of appreciation can disappear for capital gains purposes. No sale, no realized gain, no tax on the appreciation. This is why wealthy families often think in generations, not cycles. If they don't need to sell, they may prefer not to. Even when selling does make sense, wealthy investors rarely do it alone. They offset gains with losses. When other parts of the portfolio are down, they harvest those losses intentionally and use them to offset capital gains. Losses can reduce the tax impact of a TRX sale dramatically, and unused losses can carry forward. This is one reason the wealthy treat bad investments differently. They don't just hold and hope, they use them as tools. TRON also exposes another truth about crypto taxes. Where you live matters. Federal taxes are one layer. State taxes can be another heavy layer on top. Wealthy investors sometimes relocate before realizing large gains, moving from high-tax states to states with no income tax. That isn't something most people can or should do lightly. It's a life decision first. But it's part of how wealthy investors plan, not just what to sell, but where to be when they sell it. So what should a normal TRON holder actually take from all this? First, understand that owning TRX isn't taxable. Holding TRX isn't taxable. Taxes happen when you dispose of it, sell it, trade it, or spend it. Second, don't let frequent conversions and plumbing transactions create accidental gains you can't track later. Third, if you're approaching a life-changing gain, plan before you sell. Holding period, record keeping, and loss offsets matter more than most people realize. And finally, don't confuse the rich sell TRON without paying taxes with what's actually happening. Most of the time, the rich aren't escaping taxes. They're avoiding the mistakes that trigger unnecessary taxes. They borrow instead of selling. They hold long enough to reduce rates. They plan charitable moves instead of panic selling. They coordinate gains and losses. They track everything. They think in systems. And that's why from the outside, it can look like they sold TRON without paying taxes. In reality, they just didn't play the same game. This video is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute legal, tax, or investment advice. All investments involve a degree of risk, including the risk of loss. Always consult qualified professionals for your personal situation.